Welcome. Let's talk about grading the Detroit Red Wings during the pause. Now, before we get started, I just want to ask you to please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, which will let you know when my next video comes out, which will be about the Dallas Stars, by the way. Now, the last team I graded was the Edmonton Oilers over there, and I'm shooting these videos in reverse alphabetical order of all 31 NHL teams, so I'll throw up a few links to the last few clubs that I've shot up there, so you can click on at your leisure. You can also, of course, find them in my playlist. Now, the Wings are not hot. They're so very cold. I hate cold wings. I'm sorry, that's the last food analogy joke that I'll do. Now, hey, they got Stevie Y. He's the new GM, right? That's good news. And although they were by far the worst team in the league this year, at least there's hope. He made a few astute picks, during the last draft, and I'm sure a lot of Detroit fans can't wait to see the next one. And this team is definitely in a rebuild mode, not a retool, a rebuild. This could take at least a couple of seasons before they see the playoffs again. But yeah, let's talk about some of the trades, the more notable ones, anyways, that Stevie Y's done so far. Starting with the Fabry for De La Rose trade to St. Louis. They kind of won that one, didn't they? More on Fabry a little later. Then before the deadline, they sent Mike Green to Edmonton for Brodziak and a fourth rounder. Okay. And then, of course, the bigger one was Andreas Anastasio and Kufner to the Oilers for 2 second-round picks and Sam Gagner. Not bad. Now we're looking at 10 picks in the first 7 rounds. In next draft, 6 of them are going to be in the first 3 rounds. So a good job there. He's got 9 so far in next season's draft. You look forward to, I'm sure the fans do, him hoarding more picks as we move on to next season. Now the Hockey News, speaking of picks and such and prospects, they rank the Detroit Red Wings 15th in the league in their prospect pool, which I thought was a little low. But yeah, Holland left this their prospect shelves a little bare. So Stevie Y is definitely here to bulk that section of it up. Now, the bad news. Their record. Now, they lost the last game before the pause. They're 3-6-1 their last 10, and they sit with 39 points. Last in the league overall by a long shot, too. The next worst team is the Senators, and they've got 23 more points. Yowzers. Yep. Now, some stats for you here. Their power play, which I think was about 20th last season, is 29th. This season. Their penalty kill, dead last. Wins, points, dead last. Goals for, dead last. Goals against. I'm just going to keep on doing this for the dead last for the rest of the video. Face-off win percentage. No, it was 20th. Made you flinch. Shots against, 27th in the league. Shots for, dead last. Only putting 27.1 shots against the visitors per game. Now, injuries. There's a few to speak of here. DeKaiser had some back surgery at the beginning of the season, and he's gone for the entire year. Zadina, he's still on the IR at the moment. He hurt himself with a lower body injury that he suffered on February 2nd. But Adam Ern looks to be healthy again after breaking his hand, I think sometime in February or so. Now let's talk about some of the players, starting with the goalies. Jimmy Howard, he's 36 years old now, had his birthday in March. 6'1", 218 pounds. It's his last year of his contract, making $4 million. He had a .882 save percentage in 27 games. Maybe he'll retire. Maybe he'll play one more year. I mean, if a team looks for him, it's definitely going to be as a backup. I don't see him playing more than, say, 25, 30 maximum games a season if he wants to keep on playing. I don't see Detroit re-signing him. Now, Jonathan Bernier, he played most of the games this season. He's got one more year left on his contract at $3 million. He's 6 foot, 185 pounds. He's 31, but he'll be 32 in August. And in 46 games, he has a .907 save percentage. Considering where the team is, that's not bad. That's about league average. So he gave them a fighting chance. Last season with them in 35 games, he had a .904 save percentage. And then the season before that, where he spent it with the Colorado Avalanche, he had a .913. So I think he's capable of getting closer to that. Now let's talk about the defense, starting with their top 2 point getters. Hronik, the 22-year-old right shot defenseman in 65 games, had 9 goals, 31 points. Minus 38, ouch. Playing 23.54 a game. By far the most on the team there, so you got to give him a bit of a break. He also plays the first power play and the first penalty kill. So yeah, second on this list is Bowie. Not Bowie. Or maybe. He's 25 years old. In 53 games, he had 3 goals, 17 points, minus 16, average 17.54 a game. They really are lacking points from the defensive side of things as well. He's also a right shot defenseman, by the way. Now, I wanted to touch on just briefly a few other defensemen, one of them being a prospect in Gustav Lindstrom. He is ranked number 9 on their top 10 list. He's a righty. He's 21, although he'd be 22 in October. 6'2", 187 pounds, Swede. And he did play 16 games. Now, he's not known for his offense. He only had 1 point. But he was only a minus 6. On this team, hey, not bad. I could see him possibly fighting for a job next season for sure. In 45 games in the AHL, he had 5 points, minus 12. But you have to know that their AHL affiliate, the Grand Rapids Griffiths, are not having a good season either. They barely have a winning record at the moment. The other defenseman I wanted to touch on, who actually didn't play any games, but he's ranked number 1 in their prospect pool, that's Moritz Seider, whom they picked him by surprising everyone last year. Now, he's a right shot defender, just turned 19 in April. He's 6'3" or 6'4", depending on what publication you read, 208 pounds. And in his first year in playing North American hockey, in 49 games in the AHL, 2 goals, 22 points, minus 5. Not bad. Not bad. In the World Juniors, in 7 games, he had 6 assists, 6 points. His plus minus was 0 for Germany, right? So this kid looks good. I don't know if he makes the lineup next season. Maybe they purposely want to keep him down in the AHL for 1 more year, possibly bring him up for, a few sips of water after the trade deadline. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I think they're going to be losing more than winning, at least for another season or 2, at the very least. Now let's talk about the forwards here and their top 4 point getters, starting with Dylan Larkin. 23-year-old has played all 71 games, 19 goals, 53 points, minus 21. Get used to that. He averaged 21.15 a game, the most of any forwards. Tyla Bertuzzi is next. He's 24 years old. He'll be an RFA at the end of the season with arbitration rights, by the way. Also played all 71 games. Had 21 goals, most on the team. With 48 points, minus 23, averaged 19.19 a game. Then there's Anthony Mantha, who's 25 years old, played 43 games, 16 goals, 38 points, minus 7, averaged 18.54 a game. And fourth on this list here is Robbie Fabry, the 24-year-old who they traded for Jacob Delarose. In 52 games, he had 14 goals, 31 points. Not bad. Minus 29, though. Averaged 17.16 per game. Now, speaking of Fabry, he's 5'10", 190 pounds. He's 24, will be 25 in January. Itchy nose alert. Ugh. But the last season, he had points like this. was his first in the NHL back in 2015-16 for St. Louis, where in 72 games he had 18 goals and 37 points and was a -2. I know he's had a lot of injury issues in the past as well, so maybe Detroit got really lucky here because Jacob Delarose isn't doing much in St. Louis. He's also a center / left wing, 6'3", 215 pounds, bigger boy though. And in 34 games with St. Louis, he had 1 goal, 5 points, -1. So far, you got to give the edge in that trade to the Red Wings. Now, I also wanted to talk about Phillips Edina, their winger, who's 20 years old, 6 foot, 189 pounds. He'll be 21 in November. He played 28 games with the Wings, had 8 goals, 15 points, -13. Pretty decent. In 21 games in the AHL, he had 9 goals, 16 points, -9. Not the greatest defensively, but I think he could definitely crack the lineup next season. I'm sure a lot of Red Wing fans are looking forward to watch him play. And then I want to touch on Dimitri Timoshev, who they claimed off the waivers for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He is in the last year of his deal. I believe, he'll be an RFA, I think with arbitration rights as well. He was an energy line player for Toronto, playing on their 4th line, but this was the first season he cracked the NHL. I think he could play 3rd line duties as well. And he's still young, right? So in 5 games with Detroit, mind you, he had no points, but he was a 0 in the plus-minus category. Okay. In 39 games in Toronto, 4 goals, 9 points, +1, averaging, around 11 or so minutes a game. So we'll see what happens with him next season. And lastly, I just wanted to touch on Svechnikov very quickly here. Now, he's ranked 6th overall on Detroit's prospect list. He's 6'3", 208 pounds, plays left wing. He's 23, he'll be 24 in October. Now, he only played 4 games for Detroit this season. No points, -1. In the AHL in 51 games, 11 goals, 25 points, -10. Now, if you don't remember, last year he injured his knee and was gone for the entire season. So he has no points, no nothing at all. And he's had a few cups of coffee with Detroit, 14 games in 2017-18. Didn't put up too many points. So I'm sure he'll get some an opportunity to crack the lineup next season as well. How do I grade this team? I got to give them an F. There's no ins and outs about it. But with Stevie Y on board, I think there's no one more capable of steering the boat in the right direction here. So there you have it. I would love to hear how you would grade this team in the comments section down below, especially the Detroit fans. I'd like to hear from you. And that's it. That's all. Thank you so much for your support. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And stay safe in this crazy world we're living in right now. And if you can, stay at home. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.